Hello everyone. In today's video, we are doing our Learn Chess in 5 minutes or less. And today we're talking about piece movements. So let's get into it. Pawns are your weakest pieces in chess. They can only move, the first time you move them, 1 square or 2 squares. Those are the only options they have. The first time they move, 1 square or 2 squares. Now, no matter which one they chose to want to do 1 or 2, after that, they can only move 1 square. So after the first time it's moved, after it's already moved, it can only move 1 more square forward. When pawns attack, they do not attack going forward, they attack going diagonal. They can only attack going diagonal 1 square, so they're pretty limited. When pawns are facing each other, as these two pawns are now doing, they are stuck because they cannot, there's nothing for them to attack, so they can't attack. And since they can't move through another piece, they're stuck and they're going to need somebody to help them figure out how to move along. So pawns, first time you move them, 1 or 2 squares forward, they can attack going diagonally, and they can never move backward. They can never move to the left. They can never move to the right. Only forward with pawns, or diagonal if you're taking. Next, we're going to look at bishops. Complicated picture, but not really. This is just showing that bishops move diagonally. So they only move diagonal like pawns take. So this red bishop, or red background bishop, is showing you with these arrows that it can move diagonally on any of these squares until it runs into a piece or the side of the board. The green bishop, same idea. This yellow bishop can go on this diagonal until it runs into the red bishop, and then it would have to stop and take that piece. And the blue bishop has a lot of squares that can move to diagonally. With a bishop, it starts on either a light square or a dark square, and it can never change colors during the game. So it's always going to stay on the color squares that it starts on. Next up are rooks. Rooks are very powerful. They can move up, they can move down, they can move left, and they can move right as far as they want to until they run into a piece. So this blue rook, you can see how it can go pretty much up and down, left and right. Same thing with the yellow, green, and red. The red rook is where rooks start. They start in the corner, and at the beginning of the game, you can't move them until you move pieces out so that they can get into the game. Once they get into the open board, they can be very powerful pieces. They can move forward and backward. All pieces can move forward or backward, except for your pawns. Queens are the most powerful piece in the game. They can go up, down, left, or right like a rook, or they can move diagonal like a bishop. So on the queen's turn, or when the queen moves, she can decide, do I want to move like a bishop? Do I want to move like a rook? As you can see from these diagrams, the queen is very powerful. She can cover almost half the board when she's in the center of the board. So you only get one of her. She's your most powerful piece, but you don't want to lose her. Next up are the knights. Now the knights are the most difficult piece, but they're not too hard. What knights can do, they can move in a capital L shape. There's my capital L. They can move up 1, 2, 3 squares and over. 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 So they can always switch colors when they move. A knight in the corner can only move to 2 squares. A knight on the side of the board can move to 4. And a knight in the middle of the board, which is optimal, can move to 8 different squares. This yellow knight is showing us that knights can jump over other pieces. This is the only piece in chess that can jump over other pieces. So even though it's surrounded by these pawns, it could leap right over top of them and move in its L shape. And that L can be in whatever orientation that you need it to be, so that you can move your knight. Move forward and backward in an L shape. And if it jumps over a piece, it doesn't take that piece. It only takes the piece if it lands on it. So this knight would not take any of these pawns. It would jump right over them. In order to take a piece, it has to land right on it. Okay, and with our final 30 seconds, we're going to talk about the king. The king can move in any direction but 1 square. He's an old, slow man. He can't move very fast. Up, down, left, right, diagonal, any direction, but just 1 square. That's it. That's all 6 pieces. Now that you know how they move, go play some chess.